Well, the head of the FDA says that it may consider allowing a coronavirus vaccine to be put on the market before finishing phase 3 clinical trials. Health experts are now weighing in. Correspondent Mark Irons reports. Mark?
Eric, more than 6 million Americans have been diagnosed with COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. More than 183,000 people have died. And as the virus continues to spread around the world, the race is on to develop a vaccine. One Catholic healthcare professional tells me she is cautiously optimistic.
The world waits for a vaccine.
The FDA is willing to at least look at expediting that process. They haven't guaranteed that they will. They want to look at the data to see whether it's reasonable to do so, but I think that's encouraging.
Dr. Barbara Golder with the Catholic Medical Association says the news from the FDA shows signs of working toward the common good of society.
I think from a Catholic perspective, that makes a lot of sense.
In the U.S., 2 vaccines are currently in phase 3 clinical trials, the step that determines whether a vaccine is effective and safe or not. Now, the head of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Stephen Hahn, says the agency may allow drug makers to put those vaccines on the market before finishing clinical trials. In an interview with the Financial Times, Hahn said the FDA might be willing to grant an emergency use authorization or even an approval if a vaccine maker applies for one and if the FDA agrees. But there could be another challenge drug makers and health experts will both face. Concerns from those taking the vaccine about the possibility of side effects. A recent CNN poll shows that 40% of Americans say they wouldn't get a vaccine even if it was available.
And so the decision about taking the vaccine, when to take it, is something that people have to make with their own physicians. But I think it is important that we make the vaccine available early on to people in the high-risk groups, both caregivers and people with medical conditions who need it, because those are the ones who are going to be most affected.
Dr. Golder also says this is a good time to invest in ethical vaccine research that would not rely on the cells of aborted babies. She says we can lobby for other options when looking for a solution. Eric?
Correspondent Mark Irons reporting tonight. Thanks, Mark.